Hello, viewers, listeners of this podcast, the community podcast of Civ South Africa and Civ Legacy of 2025. We are delighted to have you. And in the studio with me is a great personality. I'm going to be sharing with this story. And I think it's at this point I would love to introduce to you my beautiful, gorgeous, and generous guest, Maria. Maria, you're welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I am fantastic.
Fantastic for real?
I've been dancing, so why wouldn't I feel so energized?
Yay,
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe to just, in the interest of our listeners, tell us a little bit about who Maria is, your full names.
Yeah.
It would be helpful for you to share a little bit about maybe what is your fondest early memory around generosity or philanthropy, like it is called sometimes. And then just maybe to introduce to us your community.
Okay.
However you define it.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited to be here. It's really nice to be around people with energy, people that are giving. I am Maria Opolot Aminat. Aminat means beloved. Yeah.
Okay.
So I am a lawyer by profession. My calling is child protection.
Wow.
So I'm a child protection advocate.
Okay.
And I have a deep dedication for children, that they should be heard, they should be seen, and they should be protected.
Oh, wow.
So the work that we do is in that line, protecting juvenile offenders, just people that are in conflict with the law.
Okay.
So suspects, people that are accused, suspects, people that have actually committed the offense, and also children that are victims of the offense.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the work we do by providing them legal representation and then psychosocial support, because everyone knows that just going to court and getting out is not enough. Yeah, so that's the work that we do as an organization.
And how did you come to this work? Okay, I would maybe to backtrack a bit.
Yes.
So you are a lawyer. Is it because you're a lawyer? Because there are many lawyers I've met that are not doing what you're doing. So what got you to serving that community in particular? But also, you do this for how would you do this? So just to share a little bit about your passion for juveniles or child offenders, like the lawyers call them.
What caused me to start doing this is that during my internship, when I was doing clerkship at LDC, the Law Development Center, we had the opportunity to move around prisons in the eastern part of Uganda.
Okay.
And so during that time, I was able to see children, 15 and 16, two boys that were in the adult detention facility, and which is already something that they're not supposed to be, a place they're not supposed to be in. And so when I kept probing and asking them, why are you there? They kept saying first of all, they did not even understand the language because it was Eastern Uganda. So the area they speak Lusoga and they were speaking Luo. They did not understand. They had been there for over 6 months.
Oh dear.
But because at that time I was doing my internship, I felt that going in there and talking about it with my bosses would seem like I'm being a wiseacre. And so I was silent, and then really that guilt carried on. And so because of that, I felt that I needed to do better. Like the guilt kept on being there. I got into child protection. I got other work that was like that. Meanwhile, I was not even retained after being silent. How's that? I think that was just karma.
Oh dear.
But then eventually I realized that this was really what my calling was. So I got into books, studied child protection, did the work in child protection. And then I figured this is really what I needed to do, because every time I would go to a prison, another prison, I would find that there were children that were there.
Being detained with adults?
With adults, yes. Okay. So then I realized that was indeed a very big gap. And that is how we started Ikoku Protection and Justice. Ikoku. Yes.
Child protection.
Yes.
Okay. And Ikoku means?
It means child in Ateso.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes.
Child protection
and justice. Basic, simple, precise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So this 16-year-old, the two boys that you saw who kept, for lack of a better word, haunting you.
Yes.
And you even thinking it's karma that you're not retained only because you were silent.
To be, yeah.
So when you started this work, how did you do? Because again, thinking about generosity, so I see your heart
Yes.
going out to these kids. That's an act of generosity
Yeah.
in itself. But not only did you go beyond the act of concern, the feeling, you acted on those feelings.
Yes.
And so as a lawyer, with what resources, how do you do this work? Because I'm not so sure many children are able to pay for the services. So is this pro bono?
Yes, so it is pro bono work.
Okay. And for my fellow non-lawyers, pro bono means?
Free.
Okay.
It's free.
Yes.
So they don't have to incur any cost.
Okay.
So we team up with lawyers. I was able to partner with a law firm as well.
Okay.
So we're able to provide this work. And so with the fundraising, I think that is really why it's important to source for funding locally. So that is what we did. We actually partnered with an institution of learning. We decided we're asking ourselves, what do we provide each other? So they wanted to get into the police space, and I wanted them to fund because we started this year. And so they said, so we decided we'll make a good team, and that is how they're able to fund this whole process.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So I can see that you are growing the bubble of giving from your feelings. You're acting on your feelings. You get into partnerships. You're building not to benefit yourself, but to benefit these kids that you're carrying in your heart, whose justice. And for many people, because when you say child offenders, in many times when children commit crimes, just like adults, we are not so forgiving sometimes. It's hard because what maybe they've done has really hurt somebody. So, and I've heard you mention beyond the legal representation, you also do psychosocial support, which is very generous of you with your partners and that academic institution. But just to say a little more around why accompany legal support with psychosocial support.
That's really a good question. And I'm not just saying it because you know how usually people say those words. But because, when a child, we need to always ask ourselves, why is a child doing what they're doing? Because under normal circumstances, ideally a child should not be going out to commit offenses. So what we do as an organization is to ask the why, but also ask the child, do you understand the gravity of the offense that has been committed? Do you understand the role that you play in with the offense that has been committed? Do you know the impact that it plays on the community, on yourself, on even the person that has been affected by this crime that has been committed? And so that is what we ask ourselves. And so we realize that just representing them in court is not enough. They actually there has to be a mindset shift. So then they can serve their community, they can go back and actually be productive people, and that they can go back to school and they're not carrying the stigma of the offense. So that is why we include psychosocial support.
Oh, thank you. So part of your why is not just to promote justice or access of it even to those that would not ordinarily afford it. But also you want to promote healing. That's what I hear. And restoration.
That's true.
And by the way, how successful are you with the restoration? Because some of the realities we face is, and I've worked with the partners working in juvenile before. One of the biggest struggles always was, you call it reintegration or community reintegration?
Yes.
Because sometimes as a community, it's hard because you forgive, but the offense every time maybe either they are living in fear, they think this could reoccur. You've talked about mindset. How can you guarantee us that this person will not do it again? So my question is, how are you succeeding in not only supporting the children, how does it work on the other side? Okay, you've maybe supported me to rehabilitate, to reflect. And I truly perhaps want to go back. And I don't even know if there are those that are not even willing to try again. Are there times where you say, this is too much, too late. This person is wired this way, they will never change. Are there cases like that? But also for those that have changed, what tools, what processes are you finding to be enabling you to be able to
reintegrate them?
Yes, into do you support the other side? Yes.
And I think that's why it's really, really important for us to do partnerships with stakeholders. So we have to involve the police, because remember, whenever you're dealing with a juvenile offender, the police is most times the first point of contact. So either the police or the community, which is the local leaders. So if we're able to involve them, so usually what we do is that we have to first do pre-visits, right? Get to understand, work with the probation officers to have a better understanding of where the child is coming from and what is the extent to which the community is ready to forgive and see how best to help the child. And then involve the community and involve the local leaders, because at the end of it all, if they're not in support, this child will actually be lynched and then they will be killed as a result of, people want to vindicate for the child that was offended. So we usually involve all these other stakeholders. But also, if we realize that in this community they will not be accepted, that is when referrals happen. So we partner with even other institutions and organizations that can take the child on while the community is still healing. If there are maybe distant relatives, maybe the child can go there at that time. Yes. That's what we do.
Okay, thank you. That's fantastic and very holistic an approach. I was trying to look at if it's a circle and how you go around this. And in all this, you talked about the police, the local leaders.
Yes.
Where is the family in all this?
They're really at the center of it all. They're really at the center of it all. So we of course they are one of our key stakeholders because they are pivotal to the child's change. You see, if they're not being accepted by their own family, how much more will they be accepted by the community? And so we also have to sit with the families of the child that was affected, but or the person that was affected, and also the child that has committed the said offense. So if there is some form of dialogue, and of course that takes time, and a lot of people don't have patience. When we're dealing with children, there has to be a lot of patience. And I think we claim that we are patient until we are put to that test.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So every day it's a reminder that if you thought you were patient, Maria, this is another try again.
Wow.
Yeah. So you really have to be patient, and people heal differently. And it's really a process. It's really, really a process. Yes.
Speaking of process, I'm very process oriented. And now I'm thinking, you're not only giving legal aid, free legal aid services, you're giving of your time when you talk about patience. Because the topic of generosity for a very long time has been misrepresented or misconstrued to actually to look at one dimension of it, money.
Yes.
And here at Civ Legacy, we believe that we give of our time, of our treasure, that can be money. It could be inheritance. It could be many things. Treasures are many.
Yes.
But it could also be talent. That you are not only a professional, but so you're giving of your skills as a lawyer.
Yes.
You're giving of your time, that even though you're skilled, you still have to dispense time
that's
beyond
true.
the legal process.
That's true.
You're building partnerships.
Yes.
So you're donating and connecting them to these other resources that they would otherwise not have.
Yes.
And that's why, dear listeners, this topic of generosity, we have to understand it, because as an African people, giving is our way of life.
That's true.
You can imagine you're doing your normal work, you just meet these two boys, your heart is moved, and you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
It clicks for you, you're moving in that direction.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing, you're fundraising, you're doing all these things, building partnerships to be able to pursue that. So we thank you so much for really being generous.
Thank you for having me.
And I wonder, in all this, when you've been doing this, have you ever questioned as to why, or saying, you know what, maybe this is too much, this is it? Have you ever come to such a point?
I think there can be times when there's burnout, obviously, because sometimes the cases take longer than you expect. And, as human beings, we can just want, I want to go to court, say this child is innocent, then the child is out, then the child is back to the community, they're hugged, and please, they're now a lawyer again, you see. But it usually doesn't happen like that.
Okay.
And so I think just always reminding yourself why you started.
Okay.
It's very, very important. And just having a support system that can always remind you of these things, of things that are important.
Okay.
And I guess that's just really what it is. Like always just asking yourself, why did I actually start this? And that would be a good way, a good push in the right direction. And before you know it, you've done one case, the second case, the third case, and just seeing a smile on their face.
Wow.
And also then I know that at least if I didn't help the two boys, at least I get to help all these other people.
Wow.
Yeah. So for me, that's it.
Thank you so much, Maria, and the entire team and the partners at
you.
Ikoku.
Yes.
And dear listeners, Ikoku is based in Eastern Uganda.
No, it's actually, right now we are in Kampala and
Okay.
Wakiso. So we're
Okay.
implementing here
Okay.
with the hope that we will begin to grow and expand in the different parts of Uganda.
So when you see their banners or their call, or you go on
Yes.
their website and they're asking you to give, let us rebuild our communities.
Yes.
Let us give our children a second chance.
Yes.
They may have had trouble with the law at some point,
Yes.
but they definitely still have potential
That is
to
true.
make Uganda great one day.
That is true.
All
That
right.
is true.
And
that
thank you
is
so
true.
much for contributing that big block
Thank
to
you.
this journey.
Thank you. Thank you so
Maria.
much for having me.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
God bless you.
You too. Bless
All
you
right,
too.
dear listeners. Maria, any last words to our audience?
I'd really like to say that I think it's easy to think that a child who has committed, let's say who is in conflict with the law, is like far away from us. But let's remember that how our actions contribute to the way that child ends up growing. So we need to always sit with ourselves and ask ourselves, are we uplifting a child or we're putting them down? At whatever level, because we know Uganda's population, we are one of the youngest populations, right? So it
the
means
second
that,
youngest in the nation, in the world, yes.
So it means that the likelihood of us interacting with children every day is, like literally 100%, because every day at least you'll meet a child. So we need to ask ourselves, are we actually bringing them up? Are we uplifting them, or we are putting them down? Because if we're always putting them down, then it's only a matter of time before they could become the people that we're considering juvenile offenders.
Okay.
So let's play our part as adults. Okay. Let's be the people that bring them up. Whatever child we meet, let it not be said that Maria, physically either abused a child, maybe they emotionally abused them by using insulting words. Let's always be the people that bring up children.
May we be generous, even in our actions, even in our words. Thank you, Maria, for that call. And we wish you the best with Ikoku and all the work that you're doing going forward.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.